All right. I wonder why. I got something to say. You know, and the title of this video is I wonder why. You know what I'm saying? I probably didn't say this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I wonder why. It's been, you know, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm watching TV, if I'm online, reading up on the latest news, from on YouTube, watching videos, you know what I'm saying? It's all about cars and, you know, transportation, but more about cars. Cars this, cars that, car buying guides, car vlogs, car buying vlogs, all that kind of stuff. And I was reading, this article. I'm not gonna share it or anything because, I'm not gonna tell you where I get my stuff from. But it was this article, right? And it was about, should you buy your teen their first vehicle or not? Or should they buy it? Look, you wonder why your teenager is, if you would say, troubled or bad or spoiled, whatever you want to call it, rough around the edges, upset, depressed, downtrodden, angry, extra angrier than usual, moody, all that kind of stuff. There's a reason for that. It's your fault 90% of the time. It is your fault. And it's your fault as a parent because you don't talk to your child, in my opinion, or your children, in my opinion, about milestones in life, about memories, you know what I'm saying? About goals, dreams, aspirations, and hopes. You know, some parents might say, you know, why should my child have a car? Or why should my child have their first cell phone? Or why should my child have this? Or why should my child have that? I didn't have that. Let me tell you something. You had that child to fill a void in your life. Your child is the way it is because you don't do what you're supposed to do as a parent. I don't care what you say about nothing. Okay. At the end of the day, it's important for your children to have, hopes, dreams, aspirations, boundaries, memories. You know, uh, it's important for all of that stuff. And most of that stuff happens at home. And so if you don't provide an environment conducive to that, then it's not right for that child. Let me tell you something. If you are a parent and you be like, well, my child does not need their 10th birthday, or my child does not need, a 16th birthday, or my child does not need their first job. My child does not need, their first bank account or whatever it might be. You're wrong. They do. And it's a reason. One reason is because of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You know, and another one is because memories and stuff like that important because it helps keep you well rounded, it helps keep you grounded, it helps keep you in touch and in tune with society. And so for a parent to say my child don't need this or they don't need that, it's not true. It ain't gotta be the fanciest thing, but when you try do the fanciest thing, you trying to compensate for something. But what I want to say is that, you know, it's important. It's important to have your child's 15th or 16th birthday party. It's important to Let your child have their very first job. It's important to let your child choose what school they want to go to. It's important for teachers not to try and be too proactive with their students. That's it. It's important. So if you're a parent, you say, my child doesn't need their first stuff like this. They don't need their first drink of alcohol. They don't need their first gun. You know, like a shotgun or something, like when you be in the South, when you get a BB gun and stuff like that. That my child don't need their first bike. My child don't need their first motorcycle. My child don't need their first car. They do. Because guess what? If you don't do it, you know what? Somebody will. Okay. And that somebody could be the wrong person. It could be a drug dealer. It could be a dope boy. You know, it could be a rapist or a rape victim. Could be a thief. Could be somebody who is ran from the military or AWOL or something like that. It could be somebody who is not doing the right thing. It could be a mega church pastor who, has flaws, like, they be, uh, trying to molest children. So it's a lot of things. So, remember, if you don't do it, somebody will. And it's important. So it's important for your child to know, where their first picture came from, or when they got their first hairstyle, or what their first Halloween was like. Because if you don't do it, somebody else will. And somebody else will affect your child in a way that you'll never get them back. You'll never hear them smile. You'll never hear them cry. You'll never see them running around or nothing like that. You'll never get the truth out of them. You'll never get them to speak again. Period. You'll never get none of that stuff. And you don't get none of that stuff because you didn't do it as a parent. You know what I'm saying? You didn't take the time out of your schedule to help your child accomplish reasonable goals. You never took the time to let your child know that it's important to reasonably live within your life. Meaning there are some places that you won't do, some places that you won't go. And so if you don't do that, then somebody else will, and your child end up being distant, cold, and fearful. And then when it really counts, they won't be there for it. And so you wonder why, you have your children and they be out there, wow, how they be. It's because you never took the time, in my opinion, to tell them they have to do it. They have to go for their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations. They have to do that stuff and not nobody else. And so to say it's not important to remember your first day of school, it's just not important to remember this, it's not important to remember that, it's not important to remember your first ever friend's name. Because it is important. Because what's going to happen is your child will one day look back at their life and what they did and how they did it. And anger might build up. Hostility might build up. All that kind of stuff like that might build up. And then that ends them up in jail, in the crazy house, in the hospital, different places like that. It ends them up in the poorhouse, at their local homeless shelter. So it's a lot of reasons why it is how it is. So next time your child asks your opinion on something, next time when your child asks for something, you can't afford it, tell them that. It's better to tell them I can't afford it right now. Let's work on it together than to tell them, oh, well, it's not important and you don't need it. Because that's not right. That is not the proper way to deal with a child like that. And that's my opinion. That's what I've noticed. So no matter whatever it is, even if it's not important to you, just watch. It could be small, could be large. But when you let your child know, that you understand, that you be like, it's important. I'm saying where you're coming from. When you let your child know that, it is better than just telling them, well, it's not important, so no. Because what that means is it's not important. That means move on. Do something else. And that's about it. So next time your child or your niece or your nephew asks you something, ask you a question, wants your opinion on something, it's important. And just know you don't approach a child the way you approach an adult. Because a child has no business saying certain stuff. And that's all I want to say about that.